Yes, I can imagine as well, too. And, of course, being a really good tennis player as well, too. Maybe could ask you to play some tennis or something. So,
Yeah. Well, I got to play tennis with Nancy Kiner's son. Nancy Kiner was a huge women's tennis player, I think in the 50s. I want to say either 40s or 50s. I'm not quite sure. But her son, Scott Kiner, he was a huge tennis player, like Olympic level. And he used to give me lessons. And I played with him a lot.
that is something as well, too. And, of course, you play some tennis as well. It's like, I have to say this, and you still play. And of course, we'll get to that in just a minute as well, too. And you also did some, work with the Pinups as well, too. And tell us a little bit about that. And when I saw that, and I said, refresh everyone's memories on who the Pinups are.
Okay, well, first of all, I was one of the lead singers. We were 4 girls. It was a huge international talent scout, and that was my very first singing audition that I ever went on. But I had sung a bunch of demos for a songwriter boyfriend of mine named Randy McNeil, who wrote a bunch of hits for the Fifth Dimension and Tommy Mathis. So I was comfortable singing, but I had never really pursued it. And I got it. I booked that, and it was 2.5 years of my life of just sheer bliss. We got to live in Germany, and it was fabulous. And we were on every single TV show in America. We were literally, our billboards were plastered all over the world. We were as famous as you could be for that thing that Andy Warhol always says, your 15 minutes of fame. And we're still famous in a lot of places in the world, and people that know the music business, they still remember us because we were way ahead of our time. We sounded like the Pointer Sisters, number one, but we also sang rock. And it was like ahead of its time where we kind of mixed genres, which nobody did then. And also, we sang in lingerie, and that's before Madonna. So we got censored from Merv Griffin. They had to like sew nude-colored stuff into our titties, which of course made us look even more nude on camera, but that's beside the point. But it was great. It was just an amazing experience. But I'm definitely an actress who can sing, not a singer who can act. So.
That is amazing talent, and I just want to clarify: did you get say you were censored by Merv Griffin or celebrated by Merv?
They weren't going to let us on unless we made our clothes cover the lace parts. But of course, when they put in nude material, it made us look even more nude. But no, it was one of the biggest hit shows that Merv Griffin ever had. Everybody was on it. Missing Persons, Eddie Money, Soft Bell. Us. I mean, it was and we were bigger than them at that point, which is really funny. Yeah, we were picked by Clive Davis to just be the next big smash thing.
Oh my!
And we were it just ran out of steam as far as who was. It was a lot of fighting with the producers and the record company and that stuff. So, and right after that, I got sudden impact with Clint Eastwood, so I was just fine.
so basically, you just got out of the Pinups by getting on sudden impact with Clint Eastwood. And do you think that would have made the band if you continue, or was that the breakup point right there, or was it like what was the difference in the fighting? Was like the producers wanting to do it this way, or was it we want to do it our way?
It was more about it's the age-old story. It was more about money.
Okay.
It was all about money.
Well, something that's not a problem with you, I'm sure. But, of course, we're glad that you made the way for a lot of people and everything else. And we'll get to
you.
Yes, that's right. We'll get to more in just a minute right here. We'll talk about the latest ventures and some other things. So listen to The Mike Wagner Show at themikewagnershow.com. Powered by Sonic Web Studios. Visit online at sonicwebstudios.com for all your needs. Looking for a professional website without breaking a budget? Sonic Web Studios is the answer. Sonic Web Studios offers fast, affordable custom web designs that blow the competition away. Call today at 1-800-303-3960. That's 1-800-303-3960. Or email to support@sonicwebstudios.com. Mention the Mike Wagner Show. Get 10% off your first order. Sonic Web Studios. Take your image to the next level. Also, the Mike Wagner Show is brought to you by Evan Fine of the Senior Reserve Group. When you start thinking about retirement, who you can call about Medicare? Why call the best? Evan Fine of Senior Reserve Group, specializing in Medicare, health, and long-term care insurance. Evan can be reached at 1-800-650-9357. That's 1-800-650-9357. Or email to evanfine@seniorreservegroup.com. Evidence license in New York, New Jersey, Pennsylvania, Connecticut, Delaware, South Carolina, and Florida. Also, the Mike Wagner Show can be heard on the MikeWagnerShow.com. You can also listen on SoundCloud, Spreaker, Spotify, and iHeartRadio. You can also check our Facebook page, facebook.com/The Mike Wagner Show. You can also watch the interview on YouTube as well under The Mike Wagner Show. And coming up next month, The Mike Wagner Show can be seen on TLB TV, where I get to do video interviews, and you can also catch the Liberty Beacon TV network. You can also look it up online as well. We're here with Lisa London, the wonderful actress, singer, disc jockey at one point, and also worked for CBS Radio. She's done a lot of ventures. Of course, one time played tennis. She was a Bob Hope Classic girl. She was on Lifetime, also Netflix, Amazon, and also an upcoming web series, or should I say the web series is out with Fernando Lamas, and I know you'd love to talk about it. So here we go. Just tell us all about it.
Okay, it's called Invaded, and it is, I can't really talk about it because it hasn't aired yet, and I don't want to spoil anything, but I get to play a character that it surprised me actually even shooting it, where this character goes emotionally and what happens to her. That's all I can say, but it's really cool. And there's nothing quite like it. It's kind of blending in science that's going on right now, but like making it even more crazy futuristic, because that's probably where it's going to go. It just seems like it's like a psychic read on the future. And I got to work with a whole bunch of fabulous old pros in it, and also a bunch of new young talent. So it was really a great group of people. And shooting in Texas is heavenly. I love it down there.
That is very nice too, and that'll be coming out as well too. You also did some work for Netflix and Amazon, and you can tell us about some of the features you did, and also again on the Lifetime network as well.
Yeah, David Dakota, fabulous director and producer. I did a bunch of movies for him. And one of them was called An Easter Bunny Puppy, which is a great movie to watch. It's on everything like iTunes and all that stuff too, Amazon. And it's really fun to watch during Easter time. And he called me up out of the blue and said, "Hey, you want to help me cast the young male lead in this movie, blah, blah, blah." And then he said, "You know what, there might be something for you." And there was, and I did it. And it's with Vivica A. Fox and Eric Roberts, and it's called The Wrong Teacher. And it's running like crazy on Lifetime right now.
The Wrong Teacher. We'll have to take
The Wrong Teacher, yes.
We'll have to take a look at it. Instead of the right teacher, you just got to watch the wrong teacher. So
exactly.
I think we'll have to remember that as well, too, although we do have some good teachers as well, too. And, of course, speaking of teachers, you know, your dad's been a DJ for a long time at KCMJ in Palm Springs, California. And who are some of your favorite actors and actresses growing up, and favorite personalities, singers, and comedians, and some TV shows growing up?
Well, my grandfather owned a restaurant, and he was best friends with Frank Sinatra. So I will always say that Frank Sinatra is one of my favorites. And my dad was really good friends with Bob Hope, so we hung out a lot. And he would come to the house for dinner a lot, and they would swap jokes, and that's like an incredible memory to have. And I idolized Clint Eastwood, so getting to work with him right off the bat was pretty amazing. Same with Burt Reynolds. And then Rodney Dangerfield, I just always thought was the funniest thing on the planet. So to get to work with him was crazy, in a movie called The Godson. And, God, there's just so many that really too hard to name. I mean, I always worship anything Steven Spielberg did, and I was blessed to star in a couple of episodes of his series, Amazing Stories.
I remember that. Yeah, that was great.
Yeah, I got to work with Dom DeLuise, and Burt Reynolds directed me in that, so that was pretty amazing.
That does sound amazing, too, and it sounds like you've got a lot to list here as well, too. And you're also interviewed in the book Invasion of the Bee Girls. You can also tell us a little bit about that.
That was so much fun. That's written by Jewel Shepard, who was another Bee Girl, which is, the term that they use for the lower budget films. Mm-hmm. And it was just a great idea to really showcase women at a time. This is, you got to remember, way before the hashtag Me Too movement, and to get us to talk about our stories, woman to woman, and just lay it out there. And she took some amazing photographs and did a great cover. And we did a little bit of a publicity tour across America with that. And it was just a ton of fun. And you'd be surprised how many people collect that book. A lot of people ask me about that when I do autograph shows.
That is amazing, too. And, of course, you've been on autograph shows as well, too. And what was the last one you've been on? And what are your next stops for autograph shows?
The last one I did was the Hollywood show, Chicago. And my dad's from Chicago, and I had never been to Chicago. I've traveled the world, literally, but I had never been to Chicago, and I fell in love with the city, just had a blast. And I'm going to be working for those same people who are doing the Hollywood show, Los Angeles. That's June 28th and 29th, and it's at the Westin Hotel out by LAX, the airport. Mm-hmm. And I cannot wait to do that because I haven't done anything in Los Angeles in a long time, and my hometown now. And I can't wait to do that. And people can just check out my pages and my social media, Instagram and Facebook, for more details as it gets closer to the date.
It sounds like Chicago's going to be a lot of fun as well, too. And, of course, myself growing up there for 30 years before coming to Bismarck, being born in Milwaukee and all that, there's one thing I do have to say is that you have to try their Chicago pizza. I mean, that is a requirement, and you have to go up the Sears Tower, and I can't think what it's renamed now. But, I mean, the thing is, you got to go for that Chicago pizza in order to taste the true Chicago. I'll tell you that.
I did. It was fabulous. Yeah, the Chicago show was so much fun, but I can't wait to do the LA show on the 28th and 29th of June. And it's also my birthday weekend. So
Happy birthday.
Everyone, thank you. It's a ways off, but I hope everyone will come, if not for anything else, but to wish me a happy birthday and take a photo.
That'd be great as well, too. And, of course, just some of the B movies as well. And I think we rattled off some. It's like we had Divorce Texas Style and Legal Briefs and everything else south. And I'm trying to think of what other movies have we not covered you'd be willing to talk about? It's like you got a lot. And like
we haven't talked about my other canon film, which is The Naked Cage, which is amazing. And it's so ahead of its time. And Quentin Tarantino just did a big screening re-releasing it. And it was sold out, standing room only. The Q&A for that was one of the best nights of my whole life. And again, so ahead of its time because it was a bad-ass movie, if I can say that, but there's no other way to say it. Mm-hmm. It was just a really tough, wonderful film that starred a lot of young girls and gave us like a really cool platform to stretch our talent. And I also got to have a song in the movie that I sang, and that was pretty amazing too.
It sounds like it too. And of course, you also worked with Martin Landau, and you also worked. Let's see. I'm just trying to look at the list
here.
I
worked, I worked with Martin Landau and Frank Stallone and Jerry Van Dyke on a movie called War: Women Against Rape. That was really a fabulous experience too. Oh, and Terry Moore.
Terry Moore, yes, and I think you had talked about as well too. And
and Jack Carter. And Jack Carter played my father in that. So I've worked with some of like the greatest old Hollywood legends.
That is amazing as well too.
I know.
Boy, it just makes you wonder. You do so much, and you've been broadcasting. You do a lot of sports and tennis and everything else. You travel, and I'm just trying to think. What are some of the things we have not covered? It's like I'm trying to think what we haven't covered so far.
You're doing a pretty great job, and I don't have my resume in front of me, so I'm just leaving it up to you to lead me, Mike.
There you go. And of course, you could also just just ask us, tell us as well too, of all the movies you've done, like say The Nearly Departed, Samurai Cop 2, and Star for Rose, and Easter Bunny Puppy, and of course, being on the Lifetime, Netflix, Amazon, and many other web series, and of course, some of the films as well too. What do you consider your favorite projects?
I swear to you, I cannot answer that because every time I'm immersed on a set or at a screening, that's my favorite. And but you did just remind me that I shot a pilot a couple years ago that I'm so hoping gets out there, and I think it's going to because it almost So long story short, in Hollywood, lots of weird things happen when the head of a studio leaves. It was a pilot made for a huge network, and I'm sure it's going to find a home because it is brilliant. It's called Confessions of a Hollywood Bartender, and it's written by a woman from Scotland named Natalie Sutherland, who's just super talented. And if that goes,